Hello and welcome back again. So over here, we are going to solve a question related to the concentrations of the solutions. This is the objective given in your syllabus, and this is the part which we are considering right now, calculations regarding to the concentrations of solutions. So these are the same formula which I have put in here again. And for this question, our main concern would be this formula, that is moles is equal to concentration multiplied by volume. So this actually came from here, that is the concentration of solution is given by the amount of solute divided by the volume of solution. That is how much solute is present in per unit volume of the solution. So amount can be given in terms of grams or moles. As standard, mole is always taken, but if the question specifies grams, so you should be doing your working in grams. As for the volume, the standard is volume is always taken in dm cube. If the question says to give your answer in cm cube, only then you are going to do your working in that. Otherwise, you are always going to convert any values given in cm cube into dm cube for your calculations. So here is the question from the past papers which is given. Take a minute to read it. Okay, so step number one, that is write down equation of the reaction, which is already given in this question. Step number two says that look for the known and unknown quantities in the question. So in this case, we are given sodium hydroxide's volume as well as the concentration, while what we require, we are also given the volume of a fumaric acid, and what's unknown is the concentration of the fumaric acid. So now if we are marking it down, so this sodium hydroxide is what is known in our case, and this fumaric acid is what we have to find. That is actually the concentration of the fumaric acid, which is unknown, and this is which we have to find. So this sodium hydroxide is known. I've circled it over here in the equation. And here is the sodium hydroxide. We are given the volume and we are given the concentration. By using these two, we can calculate the number of moles of sodium hydroxide by using this formula over here, that moles is equal to concentration multiplied by the volume. When we know the moles, we can, using the molar ratio, we can find the moles of this fumaric acid. And after that, when we know the moles of this, we can find the concentration easily because the volume is also given right over here of this fumaric acid. So we are again then going to use the same formula, just we are going to shift the variables. And this would become, as you will see in the steps ahead. So step number two is done. We know what is known. Sodium hydroxide is known, and we have to find fumaric acid, the concentration. Step number three, which says that calculate the moles from the given quantity of known substance. So the known substance is sodium hydroxide. We are going to calculate the moles. Here is the moles of sodium hydroxide equal to concentration multiplied by volume. The same formula which I showed you above. So by using this, we are going to put the concentration 0.2. Volume was given in 18 cm cube. So pay attention, you have to convert it into dm cube, as it is standard to put in dm cube. And also over here, they have highlighted that you have to take the volume in dm cube. So therefore, you're going to convert the volume of 18 cm cube into dm cube. As you know, 1 dm cube has 1000 cm cube. So in order to convert the cm cube to dm cube, you will have to divide by 1000. So 18 upon 1000 gives you 0.018. By multiplying by that, you get the number of moles, which is 0.036. So these are the moles of the known substance, that is NaOH. Now moving on to step number four, where we have to write the molar ratio between the known and unknown substance using the equation. Moving on to the equation, you can see that 1 mole of fumaric acid is combining with 2 moles of sodium hydroxide. So we write this in statement form to make it easier for us, that 2 moles of sodium hydroxide are reacting with 1 moles of fumaric acid. It's fumaric acid. So So 2 moles sodium hydroxide reacting with 1 mole sodium hydroxide, that is fumaric acid is reacted with sodium half the number of moles as to the number of moles of sodium hydroxide. So it's half. So whatever sodium hydroxide would be, if it's 4, so this would become half, that is 2. If it's 10, this would become 5. So this is the ratio of 2 is to 1, 2 for sodium hydroxide, 1 for fumaric acid. Moving on to step number 5, where we are going to deduce the number of moles. That is 2 moles gives 1 mole. In this case, we have 0.0036 moles of sodium hydroxide. So therefore, divide by 2. Uh, the fumaric acid is half the number of moles. So we divide by 2 and we get the fumaric acid moles as 0.018. Okay, so moving on to step number 6, in which now we have the moles of that fumaric acid for which there was an unknown quantity which we had to find. So that was the concentration of fumaric acid. So the formula is mole equals to concentration multiplied volume. We know the moles now from the above step. The volume is already given in the question, which is right over here, that fumaric acid 60 cm cube was neutralized. So this is the volume of the fumaric acid. So moles upon volume, moles taken from the last step, volume taken from the question. Again, it's cm cube. Remember to do it dm cube. You divide by 1000. So this is what comes up. And this is your answer for the concentration. So if you put in direct this thing in your scientific calculator, you would directly getting this answer. But for the sake of understanding and for showing it clearly, this step is also included over here in writing. So another point to be noted, that you can see I have put 2 zeros ahead 3 because throughout the question, all the values were given in 3 significant figures. For example, over here, there were 1, 2, 3 SF, 1, 2, 3 SF, and over here 2, 1, 2, and 3 SF for the volume. So it's better to use the same number of SF significant figures. So therefore, I included 300 mole per dm cube. So this is your answer. So in summary, the more you practice these questions and the better layout, the better presentation that you provide, the better you would understand. So practice more and show it clearly, and you are never going to make a mistake in these questions, inshallah. So thank you. That's it for this lesson.